Harry, of course, Prince Harry has been getting a very bad press, not least because of his book Spare, which, apart from being appallingly written, that's not really his fault, that's the fault of the ghostwriter, who I think took far too much money for the sort of job that he actually did. Prince Harry has been rather free with his memories. And now there's stories about whether or not he may or may not come to the coronation, whether or not he will accept or will get an apology from his brother, from his family. And now he's taken the initiative. It's quite clever, really. He's given an interview talking about his mother's groundbreaking relationship with the Terence Higgins Trust, which he said is 40 years old this year. In fact, he's wrong. It was 41 years old. It was started in 1982 as the Terry Higgins Trust. And it's a very important charity that drew attention to, that helped people with HIV, AIDS, and Terence Higgins, who died when he was 37 years old on the 4th of July 1982 in St Thomas's Hospital. He was one of the first people in the UK known to have died from the AIDS virus, which had only been identified the previous year. And although Princess Diana is very much associated with the Terence Higgins Trust, it was Princess Margaret who was an early prominent patron, and the royal family threw themselves into support for this cause at a time when the government was putting out fearful adverts, and if you the idea that Matt Hancock had to terrify the public about COVID, this was certainly the way Mrs. Thatcher's government responded to the threat of AIDS. And the trust was set up to humanize, to personalize the illness. And it was formally, I think the name was formally changed in about 1983. So from that point of view, Harry is sort of right. And it changed from Terry to Terence, therefore becoming that much more formal. And I think Prince Harry is quite right to salute his mother's actions. Remember, there was the extraordinary time when she reached out and she touched an AIDS patient at a time when there was a stigma and a fear about how this disease could be passed on, and Princess Diana did a great deal to combat that fear. And I think Prince Harry should be saluted for bringing this subject up and for remembering the charity and the great work that it does.